Hello and welcome to Short Thoughts, the bite-sized interview show where I ask your favourite people in the gaming industry a bunch of somewhat silly questions. My name's DC Bradshaw, and my guest today is Anya, also known as Lionne Cosplay. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Okie doke, here we go then. Question one. For those who don't know you, could you please describe the creative thing or things you do, but only using words of one syllable?
Pro GM writes games and acts, makes clothes.
There we go.
I think that works.
That works perfectly well. Oh, well done. It is the meanest question. It absolutely is, but it's done.
I like that I was doing the counting thing on my fingers, being like, is this one syllable? Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh dear. All right, question two then. If you were a pirate captain, what would be the name of your ship?
I could be lazy and say the Rainbow Revenge because that's a pirate ship that I have written for a different for a project, but I'm going to say the SS Rocket named after my pug who passed away recently.
Oh, that's lovely. That really is. Uh, sorry, go
Yeah.
go very somber there. I was
Yeah,
going to
no, no,
be
no,
I
no.
was going to be
It was the
whimsical
first
for a
thing.
second, but no, that is lovely. That really is.
Yeah.
But I will have to say on the first one, for a second, there was a pause in what you said. I thought you were going to say, which I own. And it's like, what? I'm sorry, do you actually have a secret pirate ship that no one knows about? Because I feel
Yes.
you would post about this more if you actually had.
That would be very cool, but no, I do not own a ship of any kind.
The magnificent arrival into cons in full cosplay aboard a ship.
Oh my God. That would be so funny.
What's your favorite, just mindless fun popcorn movie?
I have a couple. So I love musicals. I have a musical background, and my favorite awful movie is Burlesque.
Okay.
Because the plot is terrible. It's so obvious what's going to happen. Some of the songs are purely just because, no, we need to have Cher sing this epic ballad. There's no way that it would be performed in her musical review in any way, shape, or form, but she needs to sing this song as a character moment. The costumes are all over the place. Like they have the same color, but they're constantly changing what the dress is. And I'm just like, what is happening here? But I love it. I will watch it a million times because it is just the best. I love the music. I love the singing.
If you could have a miniature version of a mythological or fantasy creature as a pet, what would it be?
So you'll hear me talk about her a lot, constantly. But in Tamara Pierce's novels, she has flying horses, but they can be any size, so they're like miniature ones. That in the duology, Trickster's Choice, Trickster's Queen, they are like little pranksters and they're constantly flying around, like causing problems and stuff. And it's very cute. And I would love to have one.
Tiny mischief horse just flying around.
Yes, yes.
Oh dear, I can only imagine the chaos.
Oh, truly. Especially because in her books, they kind of team up with crows and they are just very pranky against each other. It's very delightful to read.
Crows and corvids in general, I think, are
Oh, yeah.
are wonderfully mischievous. I remember years ago we went to like a bird of prey thing. They had a raven called Baldric. He had learned where to nip the person who was feeding him, so the person would drop all the food. So they'd come in with a thing and hand him one thing at a time, and then would like get him in the ankles or something to try and get him to flinch and drop it all.
Oh my God, I love that.
Question five. What's your favorite swear word or phrase that's not actually swearing?
So this is going to be Tamara Pierce again.
Mm-hmm.
In her Emelon series, one of her main characters, Lady Sanderline Fatoran, she starts out as 10 years old. Her favorite thing to say when she's upset is cat dirt.
Okay. Do you actually use it in real life?
I don't use it in real life. It's just one of my favorites.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I think unusual when that's nice. If you had to sing a Disney song at karaoke, what would you choose?
So, my audition song for a very long time was Esmeralda's song from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, the song that she sings when she's trapped in Notre Dame and she has sanctuary, but she is a prisoner essentially. And I just love that song so much. So I would say that one.
Oh, that's marvelous. And I think an unusual one,
Hmm.
I think, in terms of era. We've not had that many people go for that kind of era of Disney. People have either gone
Oh, really?
very nostalgic and gone for like Aladdin and Lion King, or they've gone more modern and gone for like
Okay.
Frozen and Moana and stuff like that. That's what
Okay.
I would consider to be a kind of in between Disney period for me.
Well, when did it come out? I mean, it came out in 96.
Okay, it's earlier than I thought it was. For some reason, in my mind, it was,
Yeah.
very late 90s or early noughties, but I'm not sure. Time is a weird soup. I don't know.
It really is. And it's really interesting because Hunchback isn't my favorite Disney movie by any means. I mean, of course, I love Belle and Beauty and the Beast.
Mhm.
Just phenomenal. I have always had a strong affinity to Belle. Go figure as I stare at my literally hundreds of books across the way from me. But I just really love that song. And yeah, I think that's why I would pick it. I think that Mulan was my very first movie that I saw in cinemas.
If you could have a magical item to make your day-to-day life just a little bit easier, what would it be?
For me, because I have ADHD and I'm constantly forgetting about things, a magical item that would just clean the apartment. That would do my laundry, hang it up to dry, fold it and put it away. That would do the vacuuming and mopping and everything, and I wouldn't have to think about it.
Yeah, that's fair. It is definitely one of those adult tasks that not only is inconvenient, but there's many steps to it. Especially the laundry one. It's like I can get pretty much on top of, right, there's nothing in the washing machine. I'll chuck some stuff in the washing machine. Great. Set it for whatever timer, go and do a thing. And it's like, now it's beeping at me, and now to stop what I'm doing and do the next part of it, I either have to hang it up or I have to stick it in the tumble or and then the stuff that can't go in the tumble, and it just becomes a faff. And then it will
Mm.
sit in the tumble dryer, having been dry for several days, and then potentially it's so creased they have to wash it again.
See, the thing for us is that being in Germany, electricity is so expensive, we don't have a dryer. And so I literally have to, and it's 2 stories down from where we are. So I have to go all the way down. I have to grab all of the wet clothes, bring them upstairs because I'm not going to hang my clean and drying laundry where the rest of my neighbors can see it.
Yeah,
And then I have to like hang it up and wait for it to dry. And then this drying rack is just always in the way.
it's just unnecessary faff, and that is one example of annoying tasks that adults have to do. So I think that's a very good call.
Yep.
Yes, the ring or bracelet or wand of domestic chores, 100%.
Would be so nice. Also, something that would magically tell me what tasks I have without me needing to write them down and remember them, because
Mhm.
I'm forgetful, as we know.
I will just say on this one, I may have had to gently remind you that we had an interview today.
Oops.
In your defense, we are recording this immediately after Christmas, though. So I
Yes.
think being able to remember anything that was arranged prior to Christmas, I think
Hmm.
is perfectly legitimate.
Yeah.
What's a book that you think everyone should read?
Let's see if I can do something not Tamara Pierce.
We can give that as a given. If you think everyone should read
I
it.
mean, genuinely, Tamara Pierce has 30 books. She is extremely prolific. The third quartet of the Tortall series came out when I was in middle school and being bullied, and that character, Caladri of Mindlin, was dealing with bullying at the time. And so it was really, really important to me as a middle schooler that I had that kind of role model and support. And so those books especially have always meant a lot to me. But besides that, I kind of want to say even just something simple like Frog and Toad, like the very basic, like it's a children's book, but it's something that's really kind of foundational.
Yeah.
And so I haven't read them in a very long time, but also something I learned recently is that in Frog and Toad, like people have always been like, are Frog and Toad like Bert and Ernie and they're secretly gay? And the writer turns out is gay, and that was how he was kind of going through his feelings and his emotions and trying to kind of sort through everything in his own mind. which is really cool.
Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, on a number of levels, but just
Hmm.
on that last point, it's one of these things I keep going back to in terms of whether it's D&D or other role-playing games, especially because I write a lot of games for children. I
Hmm.
mean, not specifically that example,
Yeah.
but it could be the fact that role-playing games and any creative pursuit is a safe space for
Hmm.
exploring whatever it is you want to explore. Now, whether
Hmm.
that's a solo journey
Hmm.
of I'm going to write a novel and it's going to explore aspects of myself that I may be aware or not aware of, or a what if scenario that's been playing in your head for however long,
Hmm.
or it's a collaborative experience where you get to have that safe space with other people who you trust. It's a huge thing, I think, that notion of, not just creating for
Yeah.
creating's sake, though there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But using it as a safe space, that's not a phrase, as a safe space for exploring whatever it is you want to explore. That's wonderful. It
Hmm.
shouldn't be underestimated.
Yeah, definitely.
This one might be a bit mean for someone quite so creative as yourself. Question 9. What is the creative thing you've made or done that you're most proud of?
Um, I'm gonna go with the costume. Let me go grab it. 1 second.
Okay.
So this is my Howl jacket, Howl Pendragon,
Wow.
and this took me 56 hours to make.
I mean, honestly, the fact you could do that in 56 hours, I think is incredibly impressive. I mean, that is a thing of beauty. That really is.
Yeah, it's a little bit wrinkly from being in the closet, but yeah, I did so much patterning and figuring out how to make everything. There's all this hand stitching in here, and you can see that some of these are a little loose. I need to fix them, but these are iron-on plus sewn. Each of these diamonds is individually like sewn together and then top stitched. There was so much that went into this. And I'm actually making a funeral howl right now because I don't know if you've ever read the Howl's Moving Castle books. The movie is extremely loosely based off of the first book. And in the first book, he has two jackets. He has a red one and he has a blue one. And Sophie is able to do magic, but she doesn't know this at first. And so she's making all of these hats and she's saying, "Oh yes, you're going to marry rich. You're going to be like the wife of an earl or something like that." And she's talking to these hats as she makes them. And then whoever buys that hat, that's what happens to them.
Oh.
And so when she ends up with Howl, she's like repairing one of his jackets that she had cut up to work on. And she's saying, "Oh, well, you love all of the ladies and you draw all of them to you. You break everyone's hearts,"
Hmm.
things like that, while she's fixing the jacket.
Yeah.
And then someone dies and he turns one of his jackets black for the funeral and he refuses to tell her which one it is. She's not allowed in his rooms. She's not allowed to find out. He's just wearing this jacket for a very long time. And she has found out about her magic. Is she causing this to happen now? And so I'm doing that jacket. It's going to have similar vibes with the diamonds and everything.
Mhm.
I'm kind of combining a couple of patterns, like with my Allura jacket and the sleeves kind of swoop. And then I have double-sided sequin fabric. So I'm going to have that double-sided sequin fabric so that when I do this, it reveals the color like he does in the book.
Oh, that's lovely. I
Yeah.
Fantastic cosplay is incredible. I mean, without doubt, the amount of time and care that yourself and others in your profession take to do this is amazing. But when there are little tricks and things like that,
Yeah.
that is just amazing. And finally, could you please tell us your favorite inoffensive, groan-worthy dad joke?
My dad and my uncle have so many, and I wish I could remember them all, but I can't. So I did some searching for one that I really, really love. I'm so good at sleeping. I can do it with my eyes closed.
It's so simple. It's so simple. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you. And thank you so much for your time. If folks have enjoyed these insights into the brain of Lionne Cosplay, where can they find you on the internet?
Literally Lionne Cosplay everywhere. That is my username on all of the socials. So if you see a Lionne Cosplay, that is me.
Marvelous. And thank you out there for watching and or listening to this. I'm DC Bradshaw, and this has been Short Thoughts with Lionne Cosplay. Hope you have an amazing day. Take care.
Bye.